So welcome to another little video. I hope you're well. It's been another really busy week. So I have been continuing to work on my slow stitch cushion cover, and as I often do, I start something. This is something that I started doing on my please excuse my decadent nails left over from the weekend. So this is my cushion front, and then I thought, well, I put a plain border on it, so I thought, right, I'm going to embroider on the outside. So that's taken a while. And yeah, but that's fine. It's okay if you something starts off and then it's because I'm really, really enjoying it actually. So this is a poetry quote from Byron. So there is a pleasure in the pathless woods. That should have a comma there. In the pathless woods, there is a rapture on the, and that's as far as I've got. It's going to say lonely shore, etc. And I'm just really enjoying it. And it's also, actually looking at this, I've just realised that this little bit here, when you make these, the way I make these, I cut a little bit off when I'm doing the box bottom, and I saved that, and that's a little bit that's gone in there actually. So, and that's what I love about slow stitch, because these are a pair of my favourite pyjamas. That's a bit of fabric from them. So these are just little bits of fabric that, you know, mean something to you, and it's lovely. It's just lovely. That's what I like about using scraps that you've got. So I'm continuing with this, continuing to work on Edward Hare, which I'll show you in a minute, and we've also got another Edward Hare now. They're taking over. And something else that I've started on, which I'll show you next time. So it's just nice to just pick up what you're in the mood for, whether it's a bit of knitting, a bit of stitching, and it will all get done and enjoyed. So this is my cushion cover, or will be eventually. I'm also going to fill this, so I'm not making this to size as such. When it's ready, I'm going to fill the cushion with all the, when we tidy your yarn, there are tiny little like offcuts, and I'm going to fill the cushion with those, waste not, want not. So anyway, I've used my little friction pen, given myself a sort of line to work on for the text, and then you just iron it away when it's done. It's just the most relaxing thing to do. So I know I've said this before, but I am going to add to the slow stitch video that I did before about how to start on slow stitch. I am going to do lettering and how you can get ideas. I promise you I will do that. I've made time this year to make lots of videos, and I'm going to do it. I've also noticed that that's still not on. So this little scrap of lace, I think actually might go down here, because I've also got the rest of the poetry quote on here. So I might just put that down there. So yeah, that's my cushion cover, and I literally just pick it up. I have a little basket that when I say carry around, I've always got it with me, whether I'm coming in the kitchen of a morning or I'm sitting there of an evening or I go to bed, and I've just got this basket with me with the things that I'm currently working on. So, you know, like at Christmas when you get some new books or something and you carry them around with you, do you do that? Well, anyway, that's what I do with my embroideries. So anyway, that's coming on, and I've just got the last part to do, and then I promise, if you're following this on Patreon, it's going to be a cushion cover. Lovely scrappy back, because that's the point of it. And the whole thing is that it's wonky. This writing, I could have just traced a font or something, but I just did my writing and it's just a bit wonky. That's the point. So that's one of the things I'm working on and loving. The other thing I've been doing that I've showed you before was a bit of Edward Hare. Now, Edward is part of our Foxglove Chronicles The Legend of Winter Hare box that is on its way to you now. And we had 2 boxes. We had a box for knitters and crocheters, and one for if you're a stitcher. Some of them had hand dyed yarns, some of them had hand dyed threads. And look away if you've had the box and you would like it to be a surprise, because I'm just going to show a few things. Some of it I'll just put some video in, but I'm also going to talk about the pattern. So this was one you've seen me embroider before, and this is one that I sort of drew from Christopher's original illustration that Christopher did of Edward Hare. So that was that, and just using tiny little stitches to kind of give him a bit of texture. I haven't quite finished him yet. He's got to have his whiskers and just more markings on his fur. So I'm going to have a big stitch this year with all the creatures from Foxglove Chronicles. So this is going to go on there, and I'm going to have some text all around him. But the other one that I have been working on is this one, which if you had the Legend of Winter Hare, Foxglove Chronicles Legend of Winter Hare stitch box, this is the pattern that you got in there, which is on its way to you. I know some of you have already received it in this country, and I know you've enjoyed the box. So I have stitched this once where I've coloured the background, a little bit like I've done here. I've given him, so this is just done on white damask, and I put some colour in there. So I've given this a slight tea dye, which you can do with your pattern when you get it. This won't come off if you get it wet or anything. So I just gave this a tea dye just to knock it back a little bit. And this one I'm just doing in a plain colour, all the same colour. Does that make sense? I'm not giving him different colour eyes or anything. So for here, I put a little bit of colour on his eye, and I'm going to put quite a lot more on it, and I'm going to put some more colour on that. This one I think I'm probably just going to leave as it is. And then if you're going to stitch this, you're just literally, as I've done here, following the lines. This was 2 strands of DMC 839 that I've used for this one. You could though use some of the thread, the hand dyed thread that came in the box. That's kind of up to you whether you want to use it. So it's this sort of texture. It's our BFL silk. It won't be this colour, but you could use that. That would look lovely in that too. I've used 2 strands of DMC, and just for here, because I want to build it up, I'm using 1 strand, because I want it to be, I just want to build it up gradually. So yes, this is Edward Hare. If you are one of our patrons, the PDF, so if you order the box, you've got the pattern on fabric, and we're going to pop it onto Patreon. This month it's going on all tiers, but normally it would just be the Foxglove Chronicles patterns will only be on the higher tier, but you will continue to get the Herbarian quilt patterns on the lower tier as well. So that's Edward, and all I'm doing is just following it, and then I'm going to just build it up very gradually. Somebody left a comment basically saying you're calling it a slow stitching, I'm calling it embroidery. It's all the same thing for me. The reason I'm saying slow stitching is it's using what you have, and it's, for me, this is clearly embroidery, but it's going to be added in to another piece that has got like this. I think it's clear to sort of important to kind of say what I'm talking about. These are all pieced together kind of randomly. I have these little fabric bundles that if I have any remnants of fabric, I put them together in a little bundle, and I've got lots and lots and lots of them, and I'll pick one out and I'll stitch this together, and you're meant to see the stitches. That's part of how I want it to be. There is embroidery mixed in with that, and here there could be quilting mixed in with it, or I wouldn't get too hung up on the actual definition as such of slow stitching. It's just, as I've said before, it's marks on thread without being too worried in a way, about where it's going. It's kind of taken its own course. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So anyway, this is Edward taking shape. So lots of Edwards going on, but they're all different as well, because to stitch with this, to stitch with the MC is very different to stitching with this to whatever fabric, whatever thread you have, and whatever fabric. It will feel completely different if this was on a thick linen. If you're embroidering on something slightly thinner like this, you can always put something behind it to stabilise it. It doesn't worry me, I quite like it as it is, but I know some people like it a bit thicker. So anyway, that's Edward coming together. So I'll pop a little bit of footage in here of the box and what was in that. There is actually, I was just about to say it's sold out. There is actually one box, the yarn box in the shop, if you would like it. That's ready to ship. So thank you for your patience with the boxes going out. They took us a little bit longer to actually put together than we had anticipated, but we didn't sort of want to compromise them at all. We knew exactly how we wanted it to be. So they have gone out a little bit later than we said, but I'm hoping that you'll think they're worth the wait, and that you'll love them. The new box, which is the arrival of spring, is in the shop now, and I've got another couple of new products to tell you about. I meant to say, actually, a lady said to me, have I read Raising Hare by, I think it was Chloe Dalton. I don't know if it was a YouTube comment, if it was a comment here on the video, or if it was on Instagram. And no, I haven't read that. It's an amazing story, I think, isn't it? About a lady who, I think it may have been actually during COVID, and she finds this hare that had been abandoned. But I think, you have to be in the right frame of mind to read an animal story, and I have a feeling, well anyway, I won't spoil it, but I thought I can't read that, might be sad. So I haven't read it yet. I will read it. It does look an amazing book. Anyway, it's always when you put the eyes in, they start to come to life. I normally save this bit to the end, actually, so that when I'm embroidering birds, I always put the eyes in last, because they just sort of suddenly seem to come to life at the end, but I couldn't resist putting the eye in first this time. So anyway, yes, that does look a good book, and hares are amazing, amazing creatures. We've done a lot of research on them. So every time we put a story out, put a box out, we do a lot of research on the animal, creature or bird, and hares are just amazing creatures. They really are. So anyway, I hope you love Legend of Winter Hare. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, which is very exciting, this was a little needle book that I made. So this was a box. It was called Our Quiet Moments Regency box, Regency edit box, and it came with a scrap or similar to this, a fragment of a lovely vintage quilt, and the fabrics inside to put together to make a lovely little needlebook. And we have another one out. So I'm so excited about this one. We've been planning this for a long, long time, and we had so many products get out at Christmas, and we've sort of now got the time to bring in all these lovely things. We've got some lovely, lovely things in the shop at the moment. So we have got a new Regency edit box, and it is called Pride and Prejudice, the Bennett Sisters, and I can't tell you how excited I am about it. It's going to be beautiful. There are two boxes. There's one for if you are a knitter or crocheter, and that's got 100 gram skein, 5 minis, and that will be reflecting the 5 Bennett sisters, Jane, Elizabeth, Mary, Kitty and Lydia, and their different personalities. The colours, I really don't want to spoil it. The colours are going to be gentle, muted, if you look at this, but imagine a collection of different colours. They're not going to be brights. So when I say muted, I kind of mean as if it's got that vintage look and it's lost its brightness. That's how the box is going to feel. And there is also the option on that one to add in an extra 100-gram skein, which will be reflecting Longbourn, the family home, the Bennett family home. And there is also a stitch box which will have hand-dyed threads in it and enough fabrics to make a small project like a small box pouch or a needle book or a book cover. And I will be doing a tutorial soon for a book cover. So I'm so excited about those. And so that's Pride and Prejudice, the Bennett sisters, and it's going to be beautiful. And it's got lots of other lovely things in it as well. There'll be a French soap. There are box pouches, there are drawstring pouches. Each box has different things in it. So because many of you like to buy a stitch and a knitting one, and so I've tried to make it so that you wouldn't get 2 box pouches. You might get a box pouch and a drawstring pouch, that kind of thing. So anyway, I hope you're excited about that. I'm over the moon. I love Jane Austen. I love Pride and Prejudice. Let's just say there will be more on the way. But that is in the shop now. We also have a beautiful new Liberty Minis Club. So I'll put on the screen. Don't look if you don't want any spoilers. The Minis Club, our first Minis Club, which was the fabric there was Botanist Journey, and basically what we're doing is every month we're going to look at a different Liberty fabric and look at those colours, and that will inspire some yarns. And lots of you asked, are we going to do hand-dyed threads on that? We didn't for the first one, we just didn't have time for that. But for this one we have got this, sorry I haven't even said, it's Betsy fabric, which is one of my favourites. So this is Betsy and this is the fabric. Now Betsy comes in lots of different colourways. So these are, if you're not aware of Liberty fabrics, Liberty is a gorgeous department store just off Regent Street in the West End, and it's always been one of my favourite stores. I used to go there when I was a little girl and I used to look at the fabrics and just, I was just in awe of them. So we've chosen this colourway of Betsy. It comes in lots of different ones. So basically the Minis Club will be these colours in minis. There's also the option to add on a 100-gram skein. And I think, I'll be honest, I can't remember if it's a box pouch or a drawstring for all of them, but this is the drawstring that you will get. And we also have that in hand-dyed threads. So Betsy, inspired by Liberty Betsy, that's number 2. That's in the shop now to order 2. And this is in Tanner Lawn, which is a beautiful soft cotton lawn. Their fabrics are just beautiful. If you ordered our Valentine's box, that is shipping this week. Again, there was the option for knit, for the knitter or crochet, or for the stitcher. They are going to be on the way to you this week. We hope you love them. We've loved putting those together for you. Also, Salvage Chronicles new shoots, that will also be on its way to you this week. And that's our little box of new and vintage fabrics that you can put together in a slow stitch project such as this, or add it to your stash, or whatever it is that you like to use it for. That will be on its way to you too. And something else that I cannot resist showing you, this is our new Floral Edit bouquet. So the Floral Edit is a collection that we put together last year, and imagine you've got a bouquet, beautiful bouquet that you pick up, and they come with it, they're all beautifully hand tied and hand put together for you. And so we put a range of colours together, and last year we did some bouquets and some posies, which were with 3 minis, and this is one of our new bouquet for this year. And this is Snowdrops and Crocus. So this is the Snowdrop element, so you've got this lovely greys here as well for your Snowdrop. And then these are the crocus, but they all come together to make a beautiful, it's like a hand-tied yarny bouquet. And that is snowdrops and crocus, and that is in the shop now. That is on our sock base. And we hope you love it. There's lots more of those to come this year, but this is the first one because it was appropriate to do this one for this time of year. So I love it. I hope you do too. So I hope you loved the video and there may have been something there to inspire you. Let me know what you're up to as ever. Finished reading The Familiars by Stacey Hall, which I was talking about in the last video, and I actually started Darling by India Knight, which is going to be really good. That's a retelling of Nancy Mitford's The Pursuit of Love, which is another book I absolutely love. But I couldn't get The Familiars out of my head. So I've got, I don't know if this is a follow-up or if it's just another book by her, but it's The Foundling by Stacey Halls, and I'm going to read that because I just so loved the last one and it's kind of really got me back into my reading, so looking forward to that. Anyway, hope you loved the video, and I will be back soon with another little video on kind of 5 things to inspire you in the new year, and another little video in the slow stitch realm. So see you soon. Thank you so much for watching.